what I realized is actually the less you have, the more you own. Today, finally, first time in 4 years, I am upgrading my laptop, the latest MacBook Air. Because I feel like if you want to start something, if you want to experiment something, just go do it. It could be messy, but it is worth it. And small steps taken every day, repetitively, without knowing whether you'll be successful at the end, without knowing the certainty of what's on the other side, also counts. If you're new here, I'm Lydia. I'm an ex-investment banker turned entrepreneur and podcast host and content creator. So in this channel, I share a lot about my journey, how I become more confident, how I get a global talent visa, and a lot of the stories and thoughts my everyday life, like this video. So today, finally, first time in 4 years, I am upgrading my laptop, the latest MacBook Air. Everyone is talking about this MacBook. It's crazy. They were like, this is something you have never used before. And I just can't wait to open it. You see the usual design. There's another one here. Oh, see the really clean design here. Usually Apple is just very good at doing all those. You have this MacBook Air. It's really very thin. I've done an unboxing video a while ago. It's with my Remarkable. So this is Remarkable. This is Apple MacBook Air. So Remarkable is like really thin, and people have been asking me whether I've been using it. To be honest, I haven't been using it since I bought it for like 2 years until recently, and I've been loving it. I might do another video about this. I think a lot recently is I feel like I've been running a marathon for a year or two. So today while I'm unboxing this, I'm also gonna just talk through some of the feelings and what I've learned in the past year or so by being a solopreneur. I'm also gonna share some of my it's actually been a year since I registered my startup. It's April 2025 now. I will say that it's a milestone because most of the people say that a startup failed within a year. The fact that I'm still here, I guess, is kind of milestone. And then you just open this. Ta-da! I got this sky blue color. It actually doesn't look like sky blue because now I have some warm light. It actually looks white. When you look at it really carefully, it's somewhat blue. So then you have this. It's pretty thin. And they have 3 types of BC and something else. Then you can open it. Ta-da! And you know what, in the past year, what I realized is just slowly open. What I realized is actually the less you have, the more you own. Hello. Okay. This konnichiwa. Hola. I just love this. Bonjour. Okay. That's some language I don't understand already. I think actually the less you have, the more you own. The reason I'm saying that is because I started living out of a suitcase, the digital nomad life. I travel more than I can ever remember. When I let go of all of those physical stuff, I actually feel lighter no matter what is my mental state or well-being, or whenever I need to travel, I just have a suitcase and that's it. So I think that's a great feeling. Some of the other stuff I do want to share is a lot of people have been saying that I should just get a co-founder and things like that. I actually never really felt alone, especially in the past month when I was crowdfunding my Kickstarter campaign. I just feel like when you are doing something that you're really passionate about, the energy you can gather around you or whoever you're going to talk to, you have something. You own something, you're onto something, you're talking to people about your dream, about your passion. That's actually very energizing. I work longer hours than before, but I don't feel that much tired. So I think that's really a gift. I feel very privileged to be able to still do that. And I want to share this with you because I feel like if you want to start something, if you want to experiment something, just go do it. Of course, don't let go of your life savings, but figure out how you can do it the best way you can.
To use British English as the main language, press the return key.
To use English as the main language, press the return key.
Okay, it has started to ask me to choose the language. And you can choose your country.
macOS contains a built-in screen reader called VoiceOver. If you know how to use VoiceOver, press Command F5 now to turn it on and set up your Mac. If you would like to learn how to use VoiceOver,
I'm just setting up. This keeps me. It cannot let me finish recording this video. But what I'm saying is, if you want to start something, you should just start. Life is really, really short, what I realize, and the amount of time we're allowed to try our dreams is also very short. You maybe have a year or two, 2 to 3 years, that you don't have that much of baggage or things that you need to consider living right now. I just live a simple life, and it allows me to chase my dream the way that I want it. I don't know what's going on in your life. Maybe you have similar situation. Maybe you still am dreaming about that idea that you used to have when you're 18 or when you're 22. It's never too late to set up the Wi-Fi. I'll do it later. So now I'm going to show you what's actually in the box, but as people normally would know, like nothing much in the box other than this design. Oops, the Apple in California. Then I have a new charger. I think this charger is actually better than the previous one. I just sell the previous one. The previous one is too big. The previous one I have is bigger than this one. This is a smaller setup, and it also allows you to charge 2 devices at the same time. So I think actually this one is a better one. And then they give you this very steady charging USB-C setup. So the previous Apple MacBook Air I have is the M1, and it's just like this. This is huge. This is, I couldn't even fit into some of the coffee shop. They don't have such big of a space. I couldn't even plug it in. Let's continue. I feel like I'm very privileged. I am extremely lucky that I get to do what I wanted to do. There's a lot of things people they do not talk about when they started a startup. A lot of people from the outside all think that it's a glamorous idea. You're a startup founder, or at least you started, people say. But I want to say, as a startup founder, I know, at least at the very early stage, you actually do not get a day off. But also at the same time, I don't feel like working is working. Every day is a flow of working that I designed for myself. I burned out last year around October. I feel like every day is just so difficult, but then you also don't know whether you can stop, or is it fine just to give yourself a few days of rest. I feel like now I know it way better. After a year of figuring out what's the best schedule for myself, I've come to a flow of that actually work for myself. I usually wake up early and then I start working. It's the morning time before everyone else start. I start working at like 8. I will also intentionally design the workout session into my day, because I think nobody can actually continue to work for 24 hours non-stop or 12 hours non-stop. You need to let yourself rest and give yourself the permission to rest, so that you can function well, so you can make decisions well, so you can handle conversations, handle important conversations, and be able to be healthy enough to travel to places that you actually need to go, show up in a way that people trust you, want to do business with you. Now I have a routine. I will always try to plan a session or 2 of workout, no matter where I am. I will have a link down below for all the workout studios that I have used in the past. I use ClassPass whenever I go, and some of the studios I really like, for example, Barry's, SoulCycle. So in Lisbon, I also go to this other cycling studios called Rise. I personally love cycling because I used to train for a cycling instructor, and I think that really gives me an energy boost that lasts at least an hour or 2, so then I can actually work extra hours in the evening, including managing this YouTube channel to be able to consistently put on content. So after a year, I finally found my life campus. I would say I have 1 startup and I managed 2 podcasts. One is Escape 95. You can find it in this channel and the podcast list. The other is Bite-Size Climate Tech. I just successfully finished the crowdfunding campaign. I'm so happy with that, and I can't wait to see if I'm going to take it forward with it. I can't wait to use this platform to bring more climate technology innovations to the world that is actually not in climate to bring more people into working climate. Escape 9 to 5 is my way to ask for people's advice and people who have escaped, people who have forged their own way and own path from a traditional 9 to 5, maybe like doctor, banker, lawyer, consultants, those traditionally deemed six-figure successful career path, and they choose to leave that path behind them and build something that it eventually becomes something successful. That's a very selfish podcast for myself. I need those conversations, I need those stories, but I'm also hoping in a way to share those stories and those conversations with whoever that's watching this video. If you're also stuck in a job that you don't resonate with and you're every day just thinking what I should do, I don't have all the answers, neither do these people who are sharing their stories, but you know yourself the best, and maybe by watching those stories, by listening to those stories, you can give you a little bit of inspiration. I've learned so much. Some of the biggest learning I have, and I keep repeating it, is you should always ask, because if you don't ask, you will never get. And also, what is a rejection, right? If people rejected you, it would be as if you have never asked. So I've learned to always ask, to always figure out a way to match with the other counterparties, what they wanted to get in exchange, and how I can provide value in exchange, offer the value, so that we actually land in the middle and we all have an agreement. I think sometimes it's like, for example, a free coffee or like a free class in the gym or anything like that, as small as like that, or a pass to a conference. Everyone asked me like, how did you get the free pass? I was like, I think by design, all the conference will save some of the complimentary tickets. It's a matter of whether you ask at the right time before they give it out, and do you give them the right reason for you to get into those conferences. Of course, I'm not always successful, and so now I've learned to take rejections like vitamin D. Actually, one of the first lessons I learned last year in the accelerator on the first day is the partner said you should just leave your ego at the door, which is, I now understand so much better, is because ego means nothing. Like, nobody really cares what you think and how you feel other than yourself. And for you to be able to get something and be able to jump through all of those hurdles in the way that you want to build your own startup, or convey an idea, or convince someone that you're valuable enough to work with, you must have the courage to be comfortable with rejection. And at the end of the day, people who rejected you might not be able to see who you are when you're successful. One way to look at it is to use it as a fuel for you to show them they're wrong. The other way to look at it is I use it as a game to see how many more no's before I can get a yes. Sometimes it can become an interesting experiment. Don't burn out yourself too much, because then we all have a limit. To try to build in that flow, whatever that you want to do, to take care of your body, walk a lot, sometimes give you something as a gift. Like today, I have Apple MacBook. I'm going to transfer everything from my old laptop, which is here. It's actually more heavy. This is a MacBook M1 that I got in 2021. I remember when I upgraded to this one, this is like life-changing. And then this one is M4 2020. I think this is 2024 version. I want to take care of it. And this is like, it's the same size, but then it doesn't have this in the previous generation that this size actually like, but the new version is just like a more smooth design. What I want to say at the end of the video is, if you're trying to do something, if you're also in the mix of trying to decide whether you want to start something, I would say just go for it. It could be messy, but it is worth it. And small steps taken every day, repetitively, without knowing whether you'll be successful at the end, without knowing the certainty of what's on the other side, also counts. Because that's the undeniable evidence that you're accumulating for yourself. And you're not alone. You don't have to do it perfectly. Just start from tomorrow. Start before you're ready. Start before somebody say that you have to do this. You will do this because this is your life and you're doing this for you. I really hope that you get something out of this video, and if you do, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel grows a lot, and share it with whoever that needs to see this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.